Welcome to Lesson 4 for LibreOffice Calc. Sometimes you want to get a total for items in a list based upon certain criteria. For example, in a column of sales figures, you might want to pick out only the ones for a certain product. This is where you would use the function Sumifs. There's another function called Sumif without the s at the end. This will also work. But Sumifs does the same thing and you can use it in more situations. In the first example, I want the total for Watley products only. So I click in the total cell B13, then type equals Sumifs, then press enter. Drag and highlight the values to be added, C2 to C10. Type a comma to go to the next parameter. Now it's asking for range 1. This is the range of cells which contains the criteria I'm searching for. This is the product column. So drag and highlight A2 to A10, type a comma. Now it's asking for criteria 1. This is the product I'm searching for. So click cell A13. Press enter for the result. The real power of Sumifs is handling multiple criteria. To do this, you continue appending more parameters at the end. In this example, I want the total for Watley again, but I only want the watch items. First, click the cell where you want the total. That would be C13. Type equals Sumifs. Press enter. Drag and highlight the values you want to add. That would be C2 to C10. Type a comma. Drag and highlight the range for the first criteria. This is the product column, A2 to A10. Type a comma. Click the cell with the first criteria. This is Watley in cell A13. Type a comma, drag and highlight the column of values which contain the second criteria. This is the item column, B2 to B10. Type a comma, click the cell which contains the second criteria. This is watch in B13. Press enter for the result. With the Sumifs function, you can add more criteria just by appending onto the parameters at the end. A criteria range is followed by the criteria. Averageifs and countifs functions work exactly the same way. Now for an example of averageifs. Averageifs will give you the average of a list of values based upon one or more criteria. In this example, I want the average sales for the product Eon and only the table items. Click the cell where you want your average sales, C8 in this case. Type equals averageifs. Press enter. The first parameter is the range of values to be averaged. Drag and highlight C2 to C5. Type a comma. Next is the range for the first criteria. This is the product column. Drag and highlight A2 to A5. Type a comma. Click the cell with the first criteria, which is Eon in A8. If you wanted the average for Eon products, you would press enter here for the result. However, we want only the table items for Eon products. So type a comma, drag and highlight the values for the second criteria, which is the item column, B2 to B5. Type a comma, then click the second criteria cell, which is table in B8. Press enter for the result. Finally, an example of the function countifs. This function counts the quantity of items in a list based on one or more criteria. In this example, I want to know the quantity of Armstrong chairs. Click the cell where you want the quantity, which is C13, type equals, countifs, press enter. There's no values to add or average, so countifs has one less parameter than the other ones we've seen in this lesson. The first parameter is the range for the first criteria. This is the product column. Drag from A2 down to A10, type a comma. Now it needs the first criteria, which is Armstrong in A13. If I only wanted the count of Armstrong products sold, I would press enter here, but I have a second criteria. So type a comma, drag and highlight the range of values for the second criteria. This is the item column, B2 to B10. Type a comma, click the cell with the second criteria, which is chair in B13. Press enter for the result. That concludes this lesson. Thanks for watching this Panopia.com LibreOffice tutorial. So long for now.